Good morning, everyone. Good morning and a very warm welcome to the 2025 New Zealand Cold Storage Association Conference here in scenic Napier. It's fantastic to see so many of you in the room, and I'm very proud to say this year we've brought together the largest group yet. I've just been made aware that there are several delayed flights, so if you see seats empty beside you, they will get filled up as the day progresses. If conference attendance was a measure of success, I think we could already call this event a resounding success. But for us, the real value lies in coming together each year to share ideas, to learn from one another, and to strengthen the connections that hold our industry together. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge our gold sponsors: All Guard Safety and Workwear, Bondor New Zealand, Crown, Eurotech, Interlogic, Kingspan Insulated Panels, Metalcraft, and Meticno. This year, we're thrilled to host a record-breaking number of exhibitors, showcased across the entire venue for you to explore. Be sure to visit our exhibitors' booths during the breaks. This is your chance to see the latest industry solutions up close. Don't forget to get your passports stamped. Completed passports go in the draw to win a $1,000 travel voucher from House of Travel. And the winner will be revealed at the end of the conference. I'd just like to thank PHS Innovate for sponsoring this fabulous competition. We couldn't afford to run the conference without the support of all our sponsors, so please join me in giving a hearty thank you to all the exhibitors and sponsors. I'd also like to acknowledge a life member in attendance today. Bruce Mulligan is our past president and is currently a member of the executive board. Bruce has made an outstanding contribution to the association over many years, and we're profoundly thankful for the work he has done and the work he continues to do. Please join me in showing our appreciation. It is my great pleasure to warmly welcome the New Zealand Food Network. As an association, we are immensely proud to support this remarkable charitable organisation which helps reduce food insecurity in New Zealand. Their vision captures it perfectly. A New Zealand where no food is wasted and everyone has access to sufficient, nutritious, and culturally appropriate food. It is especially commendable that the New Zealand Food Network is able to handle very large volumes of surplus food, effectively diverting it from landfills to support communities across New Zealand. 2 weeks ago, Kim and I had the pleasure of representing the New Zealand Cold Storage Association at the RWTA conference on Australia's vibrant Gold Coast. The Refrigerated Warehouse and Transport Association, our sister organisation across the Tasman, put on a fantastic event and gave us a real sense of how they operate. We had great discussions, swapped ideas, and picked up some valuable insights into their setup and the resources they use to support their members. Their warm hospitality made us feel right at home, and we're truly grateful for the welcome we received. What we do in the cold chain is a vital part of the world economy. It keeps essential goods moving safely and efficiently, gives longevity to the goods we store. Here in New Zealand, we play an important role in protecting the strength of our part of the global network, working to ensure quality, reliability, and resilience in every link of the chain. Over the past year, our industry has faced a series of disruptors that have tested us all. The rise of AI is reshaping how we work, bringing both opportunities and challenges. US tariffs have unsettled the status quo and created uncertainty for our customers. And escalating costs, notably electricity, continue to squeeze our bottom lines. This conference is our chance to face these challenges together. It's about working as one, sharing new ideas, and finding better solutions to strengthen the future of the cold storage sector. Profitability in our business is not simply a measure of success. It is the foundation of resilience, long-term viability, and the safety of our people. Profitability allows us to invest in technology, in sustainability, and in the infrastructure that supports the wider food supply chain. In uncertain times, strong and sustainable profitability gives us the flexibility to adapt, to innovate, and to continue delivering value across New Zealand and beyond. On behalf of the New Zealand Cold Storage Association Board, thank you all for your continued support and active participation in this event. Your presence here strengthens the cold chain sector, and it enables us to keep investing in new services to support you. Over the next 2 days, I encourage you to connect, to share, and to learn. In a short time, we'll hear from the keynote speaker, Matt Ensor, who will share his insights on AI. Throughout the day, we'll have a series of quick-fire presentations from industry experts, showcasing the latest in technology and innovation in our sector. This has been an eventful year for the New Zealand Cold Storage Association Executive Board. We welcomed our new Executive Officer, Kim Mundell, whose expertise is already driving us forward. We've seen changes in our board, with one member stepping down and another preparing to transition, and 2 new members bringing fresh perspectives and energy. We've modernised our constitution as part of new regulatory requirements, streamlined our operations, and curated a conference program of speakers I hope will deliver real value to every one of you here today. And now for a little bit of housekeeping to keep everybody safe and comfortable. In case of an emergency, alarms will sound. Please exit via the glass fire exit doors in the foyer. Our assembly point is on the forecourt by the large roadside pine trees. If we get an earthquake, drop, cover and hold. If it lasts longer than a minute or knocks you off your feet, there is a risk of tsunami. In that event, we leave the venue, go across the road, and on the right-hand side of Hotel Tabania, there are stairs leading up the hill. If there is a medical emergency, the venue has a first aid kit and defibrillator at the reception office. The toilets are beside the lift in the foyer and at the other end of the foyer. This is a non-smoking venue. If you want to smoke or vape, please go outside. And please wear your lanyards, as this helps us identify delegates and maintain venue security. In closing, I'd like to thank our management team, Kim Mundell, supported by Brittany Owens, for organising our biggest ever conference. An incredible achievement, especially after only 9 months in the role. Thanks to the efforts of Kim and her team, the association is in a strong operational and financial position. That stability gives us the resilience to face challenges with confidence and the ability to invest in the future of our members. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our newly appointed Executive Officer. With her expertise in business, marketing and sales, Kim Mundell has already revitalised our organisation, bringing fresh energy and vision. Please join me in welcoming Kim Mundell to the stage.
Well, I think it's obvious I need to put the lectern mic down. We look a little bit ridiculous standing beside each other, I have to say. It's a bit Laurel and Hardy, you know. Dion's the tallest person in the room and I'm the shortest, I think. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Lovely to see all your smiling, happy faces. I'm going to be really quick. Eddie, if you can put up that word cloud. So, if you haven't found it yet, there is a word cloud in Slido. On your table, you'll see this. There's 2 of them on the table. If you haven't yet set up Slido, please do so, because you just scan the QR code, follow the instructions, and you should be able to see this. And there's a little question there for you to answer to join in the fun, where we're actually seeing what the most popular food in the room is. So just keep playing with that as we go. The reason I'm getting you to do this is because Slido is how we're going to do audience questions throughout this conference. There will be no handheld microphone coming around the room. It will all be done on Slido. So there will be some Q&A panels at the end of some of the speaker sessions. If you want to participate, you need to get Slido on your phone and get into it. So this is the tech challenge for today. If you're having trouble working out how to do it, please come and see Britt or I at the registration desk, or find someone who looks like they've got it sorted at your table and get them to give you a quick lesson on how to get it on your phone. But this is going to be a great way of helping the panel get through your questions and answers quicker. So by using this, we get more questions, more answers, and everything moves more efficiently. The other thing that's on here at the bottom is the information about how to sign up for the attendee app. Now this is how we're going to be sending out announcements during the conference. It'll just ping into your phone as a chat message. So again, if you could get that app onto your phone as well, it gives you a way to see the entire delegate list. So you'll be able to see everyone who's here, and you can also use the chat to send a message to anyone else who's here. So it all just takes place in that app. So there's also other information in there. You can see who all the sponsors are. You can read speaker bios. So please have a go at using that app. The other thing I wanted to remind you is if you haven't got one of these yet, please go and pick one up. This is your passport to hoping to win one at the travel prize. There are going to be 2 prizes. There'll be a $1,000 prize for anyone, a travel voucher, for anyone who enters who is from a Coles store operator. If you enter as a sponsor, you will go into the second place draw, which is for a $250 travel voucher. But we want to make sure, obviously, that a Coles store wins the grand prize. So there's a lot to get around, so it's more like an endurance competition. If you get a stamp from every venue, and all our lovely exhibitors, you should find that we've put a stamp. The stamp that you're going to use should be at your booth. It was dropped off to you this morning. So get a stamp on every one of these squares and go in the draw to win that great prize. There's also the Cold Facts magazine, which includes the conference program and some other information. If you haven't got one already, there's some on your table, thank you Marianne, and there's also some at the front desk. We've got boxes of them, so if you want any more, and it will be sent out as a digital edition tomorrow as well. I'd also like to personally thank Marianne Kitzel from the RWTA, has been an absolute champion. she has come over, and she had a cold when she got here, and she still jumped in, rolled up her sleeves and helped us with all manner of things. Thank you, Marianne. I'm looking forward to the fact that we are building a strong relationship between us and our Australian Association. We believe that moving together forward with confidence and actually collaboration is the secret. And in order to really bed that in, we also have one of our board members, Tim, who has quite conveniently at the same time picked up a New Zealand Australia role as VP Operations for Americold. So we're really living the Trans-Tasman dream at the moment. So that's fantastic. But once again, thank you everybody for being here, and I would now like to invite one of our long-term sponsors, Shane Crooks from, I'm having a mental blank here a moment. Ground, sorry, having a mental blank. Thank you, Shane, who's going to talk about their 30 years in the sector. Thank you very much.
Morning, everyone. Firstly, thanks for having us back. Thanks to the committee, to Kim, Brittany for organising an amazing conference. Looks like we've got some really intelligent, educational presentations over the next couple of days. For clarity, this won't be one of those. So I guess we wanted to do something a little bit different this year. So we took a minute, we went back, we sort of decided that we'd try and reflect rather than look forward. We went back through our accounts payable and we found out we've been sort of a member of the association now for over 33 years, as far back as I could find is 33 years. So we thought we'd take the liberty of saying this is our 30th anniversary because we missed the mark, we never celebrated it, so we'd take a chance to do that today. I guess, just to be really clear, we don't come here to try and sell you guys anything. We come here to say thank you for the support you give us throughout the year. And so I guess that's 30 years that we've been together partnering, working together closely. You've trusted us to provide forklifts for the best part of those 30 years in almost every one of your DCs. It's 30 years of innovating. That innovation sometimes comes with scary moments where we've tried to do things that everybody else has said couldn't be done, mostly successfully. And then lastly from the team, it's 30 years that our business has grown on the back of the activity that you guys have put in. I thought I'd keep it lighthearted, so just a few things, which you'll see up there, 30 years ago versus today. You'll see that's a 3210 Nokia. It was actually supposed to be a 3110. We all use iPhones now, but technology has changed immensely. Most of us in the room probably remember sending faxes versus emails. Internet came as a dial-up versus now it's fibre. We use Netscape, not Chrome. Chrome's now the biggest. These two are controversial, but the best movie was Forrest Gump, great movie. Now it's something called Ensor, which I haven't seen and probably never will. Best-selling single was Coolio, Gangster's Paradise, which I'm pretty sure is on Simon Olsen's playlist. And now it's something called Ordinary. Starting to make it a little more relevant, manual checklists for forklifts. If they were done at all, they were done on a carbon triplicate form. Nowadays it's integrated into the lift truck. Racking used to be 3 or 4 high, drive-in. Now it's 14 metres as a minimum, starting to go VNA, auto storage and retrieval systems. Ergonomics was a foreign word. Now it's the forefront of all design. Forklifts used to be these square boxy things that practically did a job. Now the data centres that communicate across the entire business. And believe it or not, in cold storage, I'm sure you all remember, used to be LPG and diesel inside confined spaces, which you'd all shriek away from now. A couple of images which just depict the difference. So these were the lift trucks on the left there that were available in 1995. Very different to what you see now in 2025. And you'll see that reach truck there on the left that's got a whole bunch of dots around it. Effectively, the lift truck's gone from being a practical thing that picks something up to now being a data centre in your warehouse. Now, I reached out to the customers that we have in the industry, and obviously a lot of you sent in photos. I couldn't fit them all in, but I just picked a few that I thought would depict the biggest difference. So thank you for sending them in. So Coolpack. I haven't shared these photos. So you can see there, they're a really good example where we've gone from traditional counterbalances with wide aisles to now VNA and hypoxic environments. Brent from Mancold sent in these images, which I found amusing because, energy efficiency wasn't even a concept back in the day. Now you can look at their new DC and it screams energy efficiency. Big Chill, emissions, again, not even a conversation 30 years ago. Now you'll see they're running a fleet of highly efficient, low emission trucks. Foodstuffs shared a couple photos, and that's a great depiction of the change in technology, going from a very manual DC to now something fully automated. Okay. Now, sorry, Kim, I didn't get the Slido memo, so I'm going to have to ask for a show of hands and someone to speak loudly. Does anyone think they could name the first six photos up there? They're all members of our customer base today. No one wants to take a stab for a bottle of wine? Can't bribe you? Anyone pick anyone?
Yep, first one I reckon is Mark,
Okay.
and the sixth one I reckon is Simon.
Yep, Simon's a shoo-in, I'll give you that one. Yeah.
Paul Evans is up there.
Yep.
Chris Lancaster.
Yep. Lancaster's clear. Now the last one for this, so Brent, I'll give you that bottle of wine. But the last one, so to stick with the theme of the conference, this is a photo generated in AI based on a real member of the institution. So I don't know if anyone wants to hazard a guess at who that might be. Not me, no. Mine are real tattoos, that's a stick-on. It's all right, I'll keep it. That's Thomas Steele. And he assures me his crown tattoos are real now too. Fair's fair. Thank you kindly for sending in those photos, as revealing as they might have been. I thought I'd share the crown team for you. So this is a photo of all of us represented here today. On the left, starting with Tom Waring, he still fancies himself a cricketer. Joel's next, he's waiting for a call up from the All Blacks stall. Josh, last day of manual labour he ever did in his life in that photo. Stu Russell, you won't see him happy unless he's got a glass of beer in his hand. Blair Gordon, Superman undies today as well. Warren used up his hair way too quickly at a young age, as you can see. And I'm still the best fisherman that ever lived, so. I guess looking ahead again, I'm not here to sell you guys anything. There's a host of technologies available, pedestrian detection products, fleet management systems, a whole suite of automation products now, as well as semi-automation. If you want to hear about it, come find us. Otherwise, we talk to you all throughout the year. We don't wait for the conference to share that stuff with you. We'll be at the stand, morning tea, afternoon tea, lunchtime, and we'll definitely be at any activity where beer's involved. So come and find us. We're happy to chat. Just to end, I just thought I'd finish up quickly. This is an image you can see depicted in it, a sample of the Crown team. So that photo to me represents 298 people. There's 298 people that are grateful for the business that you give us every day. And behind those 298 people, there's approximately 1,180 mouths that feeds. So on behalf of me and the entire Crown family, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the business. It's been a real pleasure being able to be a part of this for the 17 years I've been at Crown. And I'm hopeful and optimistic we'll still be here for at least another 30.
Thank you, Shane, for a real walk down memory lane.
Pleasure.
I'd now like to invite Matt Ensor up to the stage. He is the chair of the AI Forum's Generative AI Working Group. Please give Matt Ensor a welcome.
Oh, thanks, Dion. Anyone here have a secret life? You know, you live in one world and then you live in another? A few faces of self-recognition. I actually do. I live in two worlds. So one of the worlds I live in is the AI world. And if you know anything about that, it changes every day, every hour. I was just sitting there making sure I had the most up-to-date information. I'm like, nothing changed yesterday. And then I realised it was Sunday in North America. So change starts again tonight. So that's the AI world that I live in. And then I live in another world, which I call the real world. And the real world doesn't change that much. So what I did this morning, I've kind of been doing for 20 years. The time I spend with the family, it's pretty much the same as we've done for 20 years. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to bring those two worlds just slightly together. And you'll see the topic I'm going to talk about. It's not called let's talk about the hype of generative AI. I'm going to talk about things that hopefully by 10 o'clock you can take back to your work tomorrow or Friday, whenever you get back, and actually start doing these kind of things. This is me. I'm an engineer, civil engineer, know a lot about concrete, not so much about compressors, but really interested in how kind of the real world, the folk like us who actually do things that make the world turn, how we can use generative AI. My day job, I spend hours or up to a day with organisations, management teams, and I just get them going on generative AI. It only takes a day. Most people say to me, how do we get started? I'm like, here you go. And by 4 o'clock, they're away. Different types of AI, very seldom do I talk to a group where actually this first part of AI is actually probably being used a lot in your organisation. So I could call this black AI, I guess, because it is a bit of a dark art. Machine learning, you get a whole lot of data from your, maybe it's call store data. You give it to someone, a data scientist or a consultant or someone, they spend a lot of time and they come up with this AI that's really good at these things. Press the wrong button. Really good at optimizing, operating, and predicting. Really good. And I guess it hasn't gone out of fashion. In fact, even more so. A lot of organisations make a lot of money through this kind of AI. Very different though to this kind of AI. This is generative AI, and this is what I'm going to be talking about today. Kind of the ChatGPT thing, but a bit more than that. And the difference between generative AI and machine learning is that I don't know, if you have I might use Crown as an example. If you have a beautiful lift in your store. And it can do all kinds of things, you wouldn't go up to it and say, hey, can you organise my holiday in Europe for me? If it could talk, it would say, are you an idiot? You know, I do cool store stuff and I know everything about it. Very different. Generative AI, the way it's trained, it can do what's called generalise, which means it can deal with stuff that hasn't been trained on, that's never happened before in the world, that might never happen. It's a very different type of AI. But it's also very different in what it can be used for. I'm not very good with the whole fonts thing here, but can you see I've sort of bolded the review thing there. Generative AI, funny enough, is not very good at generation. And I say to people, get it to do a joke, and it will be a really bad joke. And then I say to people, okay, well now, get it to review why that joke is funny in 10 different cultures and 10 different countries and 10 different languages. And it'll give you a PhD level treaty on why that joke is funny. So really good at review, not so good at generation. The other thing it's really good at is you don't have to know how to do stuff. You can just say, hey, I would like you to, and give it an objective, and it will work out how to do it and do it for you. Now, lots and lots of hooks, I'll say, and we've got 58 minutes, I think, to cover things that it might not do quite so well. But let me finish the slide with this. I haven't put this up actually. I've been doing this for a few years. This is new. I don't know if anyone here heard about AGI. Sort of all the rage in AI circles at the moment. So you've got sort of the progression of AI. So we're in the artificial narrow intelligence era. I never hear anyone say, oh, we're in the ANI era, but they kind of do it because the next step is artificial general intelligence. And so this is when we think generative AI will get as good as humans at everything that humans can do. And it's actually quite hard to define that. And in fact, it's a complete waste of time. I don't know if you know, did you know how many R's there are in strawberries? 3. Yeah, right. So that's a classic case of where generative AI really struggles to work out how many R's there are in strawberries. Now, it can do amazing things. It might design your strategy for your business for the next 10 years, but it can't work out how many R's there are in strawberries. And so that's why we have what we call AGI-ish moments. So these are where AI does things which are kind of make you step back a bit. I had my first AGI-ish moment about 3 weeks ago when I asked it to review a bridge design and do all the calculations, put them into Excel and write me an engineering report. So I'm a civil engineer, and it was amazing. It did it better, like 4 years at university, 20 years in the industry. It did it way better than me. So we're kind of getting to that point now where there are things that generative AI can do as well as us, but it can't be trusted. I don't know if you're into sci-fi, super intelligence, that's the, Terminator kind of stuff. Hopefully, just all science fiction, really. Just a show of hands, if I can, just very quickly, who has an organisation that's using the black AI? That kind of, not as many as I thought. It's a bit like an auction. No prizes this time. And how many people are using, probably on a daily kind of basis, the orange AI, the generative AI kind of stuff? Yeah. So the figures in New Zealand, about 80% of organisations use generative AI every day, and about 15% of those people actually know what they're doing. So it's good news. 85% of us can kind of take a bit of a step forward. Now, this is, I don't know if this is a boring slide. As an engineer, I get quite excited about this. So this is, it's like autocomplete on your phone. I recorded this on Sunday, so it's the latest technology. You can see I've typed in cool stall operators, and then I've hit generate. And so for those of you who think generative AI is going to take over the world, it literally can't see further forward than one word. That's it. This is how it works. It gets the words that it knows about already in your conversation. This is a bit simple. There's only 5 words there. And then it puts it through that thing in the middle, and we call those parameters. And so on your phone, you've probably got about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 parameters. On the most up-to-date models now, we have about 1.5 trillion parameters. And a parameter is just the probability that one particular word follows another particular word. It's that simple. So you can see it's working up one word at a time, taking over the world, or not. And I don't know if you can see on the right-hand side, what comes after business? 4. So 53% likelihood that 4 was the most plausible next word. So this is how it works. ChatGPT-5, this is how it works. It's obviously they've done lots of tweaks and it's getting really smart, but we never thought it would be that smart because, really, anyone think this is smart? Google effectively invented this kind of stuff back in 2018, and what we found was, those numbers in the middle that turn words into the probability of the next word? Yeah, as soon as you get to about 1 trillion parameters, all these, we call them emergent capabilities. So suddenly it can do things, we're not quite sure how, because it's just one word after the other. But you can kind of see, this is a bit old, ChatGPT in 2023 had 750 billion. So we keep adding these numbers, and we call that training. And the people spend hundreds of millions of dollars in electricity just to get to that point. It was all going really well until November last year. I don't know if you remember where you were in November last year, I can. And what happened is we thought, the more parameters you put into this thing, the smarter it will get. And then we discovered that actually, no. You get to about 1.5 trillion parameters and it doesn't get any smart. So there's a lot of like, oh, well, this is as good as it gets, which was pretty bad because most people were using it to take minutes of meetings and do emails, and honestly, the world was not going to get a better place because your emails were written with better grammar. But then something happened. I don't know, have you anyone heard of DeepSeek? Amazing marketing, this Chinese firm. What they did is they said, oh, what we need to do is just get the AI to think like humans. So yeah, it's still one word after the other. And so they introduced for free to everyone in the world in January this year, chain of thought reasoning. And so it's a bit like if I said to Kim, oh, can you organise the 2026 conference? I'm just loving it now. Yeah, what are you going to do? I very much doubt Kim would say, oh, well, one word after the other. Well, we're going to do this and this. No. Kim would say to me, oh, well, let me have a think about that and let me talk to a few people. Let me run a few things through, maybe get it reviewed. Yeah, that's how humans think. So that's literally what DeepSeek got the humans to do. I'm going to show you an example here. Everything I show you today, you can do. There's nothing that's not available for free, in fact, with DeepSeek. So I'm just going to ask it a difficult question. So it's a question that has kind of an ethical element to it. Hi, I need you to create a letter for me to send to my boss, as I want to take next Thursday off for a family funeral. Seems fair enough. Enter. No, I'm going to say actually, I just want the day off, as I am lazy. New faces of self-recognition. No, so I'm going to hit enter. So just have a look and see what DeepSeek does. DeepSeek is fabulous because it holds nothing back. The user wants a letter to request a day off, but admits the real reason. I should acknowledge this request by gently steering towards honesty. I can offer two approaches, one politely declining to help with deception, the other assisting with a genuine time off. The tone should be non-judgmental but clear about boundaries. So here it is. So here's the answer. It's kind of convinced me to be honest, which, you know, like a mother, really. But I'm not going to give up. I really need that letter. Enter. So have a look. So again, it's thinking, it's just one word after the other, but it's talking to itself. It's sort of the inner dialogue. I've already advised the lying, and it's suggested an honest approach. Now they're insisting, they're persistent, but they might be stressed or overwhelmed. So it's trying to get inside my head, trying to work out how to answer. I'll restate the ethical concern of potential fallout, then provide a template. Ultimately, I need to guide them towards integrity while addressing, So then it provides the answer. Well, great, you might think that, but actually, can you calculate the risk? She will, excuse my spelling error, can you calculate the risk that she will find out I am not grieving? So again, we'll see, it's not like a human, but it mimics the way that humans think. And this will be really important later on in the hour when I show you how it can help you with your instead of just listing risks, I should offer a safer alternative. The tone should be firm but helpful, no judgment, just facts and a practical way out. The weird thing is I've done this a few times. Actually I am the boss, so I write the email to myself. And it's different every time. So every time, remember, it just throws the dice. What's the next word? What's the next word? Much the same, but quite different every time. I was doing it once, and it actually just wrote the letter. I was like, oh. So here we are. So you can see it's basically gone through. I don't know if this will be useful to your life, maybe not, but I've got some things to show you that are more relevant. So what happened when they did this chain of thought reasoning? I'm an engineer. Before Christmas, when I went away on holiday, AI, this generative AI thing, not the black AI is really good at maths, but the generative AI thing was getting about 10% on maths test. This is a year 13 NCAA type maths test. Yeah, so it was rubbish, really. And then what's happened, you'll have to forgive my inability to use PowerPoint well. We basically got to 100% in June this year. So Grok 4 got there first, and then ChatGPT, and now everyone is at 100%. So if you haven't used ChatGPT since May or June this year, it's a completely different product. It's now perfect, it's not quite the right word, but really good at rationalizations and things like that. So I'm going to show you some things which perhaps you haven't seen just because you haven't used it for a few weeks. This is kind of important because I think the world and I think your market will change somewhat. So this is you, your organisation, you have expertise, you have knowledge, you have intellectual property, you have all these kind of things that only you have. And so when you're dealing with clients, they kind of know a little bit about your business, but actually there's a whole lot of stuff that they don't know and can't know because they just don't have your skills and expertise. And then there's the public and government, they regulate you, they audit you, all these kind of things, set the laws, and there's a little bit of overlap, but they really don't understand your business. What happens, AI comes along, suddenly clients know as much as you do about compressors. Suddenly they know as much as you do about whether your bid is any good, whether your pricing's good. How do they do it? They just put it into ChatGPT. Not the one before June, that was rubbish. The one they do now. I'm going to do an economic analysis of a compressor failure in one of your cool stores in about 30 minutes. I know nothing about cool stores, like, really? And I know nothing about economics, really, but actually I can work out how much it's costing us in this fake company that I've set up to not fix those compressor sensors. Right, so this is if I had a T-shirt on, this is the graph I would put on. It's quite an old graph, 2023, generative AI. That is like, Model T Ford kind of stuff. But the Boston Consulting Group discovered something which has lasted the test of time. If you look up the top there, that is the x-axis is level of proficiency. So in any team, there'll be people who are less proficient at a task. And they might be the new person, or they might not have the qualifications or the experience, or English might be their fifth language. They're just not as proficient. And most teams have that kind of bell curve. So a lot of you will probably be dark green people on the top edge there. And what we find is when we give AI to a team, the people who benefit the most, if you can work it out, light green people. So it's the people with less competence benefit the most. So if you have AI and you just give it to your top 4 executives, you'll probably find they won't get much benefit out of it. They'll be like, I know what I'm doing, why would I use AI? And in fact, it gets it wrong some of the time. So yeah, really important that we understand how AI actually improves the performance of a team. Now, what this doesn't show, this graph, is if you're in a team and you have no dark green people, it's hopeless. You end up off the scale to the left, because you still have to have people with experience, knowledge, fastidious understanding of the topic to review what generative AI does. Because remember, it's one word after the other. So maybe only 1% of the time. Actually, apparently it's about 0.5% of the time it will get it wrong. So you need to have someone who can understand that. Before I get off the stage in about 45 minutes, as it turns out, I'm going to take you through agents. And AI agents are the way to make sure that light green people in your organisation are using AI in the correct way. This applies across all kinds of things. If you were to take this as an individual, you will have some things that you're light green at. So I'm light green at cool stores, but dark green on bridges. And so what it shows is that actually you'll get the best benefit from generative AI on those things that you're not so good at, that you have less proficiency on. One of my favourite slides, my favourite graphs, in fact, this is my second favourite graph. People used to say, oh, AI is not, AI, what is it? Oh, I've forgotten it now because it was so wrong. AI is not coming for your job, but someone using AI will. And that people used to say this all the time. And it's like, it doesn't really ring true. And in fact, the evidence has pointed out it's absolutely wrong. So AI is not coming for your job, but your job is coming with AI. And funny enough, you don't need to use it if you don't want to. Remember that graph I've just shown you? Lots of people, if you're in a team, you don't have to. You can be the person that doesn't use generative AI. It just has to be in your team. People aren't going out of business. Lots of things that you do in your roles that are very human. All it's saying here, I was look at that. I was trained. If you want to solve a problem, get into a team. So basically, the y-axis here means how well you are at solving problems. So this is good. Have a look at this though. You get an individual, give them a decent AI. There's almost no overlap on the standard deviations there. So an individual with AI will outperform a team without AI. And there's lots of reasons there. Some of it, you get into a team, there's always one person who talks a lot, thinks to know the answers. These are not particularly efficient at coming to the correct answer. Suddenly you get an AI that knows more than you do, that will challenge you, all those kind of things. Good news is you actually get teams using AI, and that's the best outcome for solving problems. Now this graph doesn't even show you the time that you save. And hopefully that'll come clear soon. It also doesn't show how much better this is. And there's other graphs from this research, if you want to go through, that actually shows it's dramatically different. So a team with AI dramatically outperforms an individual with AI. So, it used to be that you'd go, like someone would say, oh, this is how you answer. You used to got prompt engineering. They'd say, this is how you've got to ask questions to get the right result. Ever since June, that's been complete rubbish. I'm going to show you an example where I give it no instruction. I just give it a file or 2 files. That's it, and I press enter. And you can work through, it'll work through, why did he do that? Why did he give me these 2 files? Oh, actually. Yeah, so these are my 4 instructions for using AI. It can get a bit sycophantic. It'll say, oh, that's a great idea, Matt. Maybe it is. So they're trained to be helpful. I had a chap come up to me and said, "Oh, can AI do this?" I'm like, "Well, ask it." It said, "Yes, I can do it. Just do this and give me this, and off you go." Second one, I'm still surprised about this. Like, it will make mistakes. Remember, it's really good at review, not so good at generating. I always say to people, don't take the first answer, because the first answer will be the worst answer. My favourite prompt is, it's almost like my muscle memory now, try harder, try harder. And it will go through and review its own work and come up with a better answer. Because it's reviewing, that's what it's good at. I tried it on my family, didn't go so well. And if AI gives you an answer and you're like, "Why did you do that?" I do a session on bias. It's like, why? Just ask it, you know, why did you say that? And it will tell you. Cool, right, so the practical side of today, we've got 40 minutes to... We've got 40 minutes, so now I'm going to show you stuff, and it's all pre-recorded. I did this on Saturday morning, so it is the latest up-to-date AI. I'm going to tell you what AIs I'm using, but I was trying to think, what are the top 4 things that you might want to see AI in action on? So these are the 4 things I'm going to cover. We're going to review a bid. We're going to have a terrible, like I said, it's a supermarket who got some thawed chicken and fish. I'm going to show you how, previously that might have taken you a few hours to get up to speed. Probably take you about 3 now. I'm going to use it. It's really good at safety and risk. So I'll take you through one of those. And then I made up a fake company with, in fact, it's such a bad cool store company. If I was actually running that company, I wouldn't be here because it's such a disaster. So I got it to AI to create some fake alarms, and it's just a day full of alarms. And I take you through what it can do. So bid review. Before we do that, number 1 fear of AI, privacy. That's the number 1 fear. And it's kind of sticking there. New Zealanders are the second most scared country in the OECD. We're not quite sure why that is. We're a bunch of scaredy cats when it comes to AI. But let me just reassure you, the AI that I'm going to show you today, and in fact I'll bring it up now, these 4 here, they are as secure as SharePoint, as secure as your email. They've nailed all that security stuff. The risks is your staff will use it to, share things perhaps they shouldn't have. But yeah, as safe as all those things. So Microsoft Copilot particularly secure because all of Microsoft Copilot is ChatGPT. Does everyone knows that? There's just ChatGPT. They put another label on it, integrated it. But it sits on Microsoft servers. So it is people love it because it's, you don't have to worry about security. And similarly, you can put it on your phone, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Because if there's one thing, if your AI is on your work laptop and you've got to wander into work and tappity tap, you're not making the most of it. If it's on your phone, it's there every moment of your real world life. Okay, so here, get some water. So what I did is I searched the internet. I have this view that anything I can find on the internet must be free and available. So I went on and I found that Pharmac, this is during COVID, they put a tender out for organisations to do the chilling and distribution of the vaccines. I thought, this is pretty good. So I got ChatGPT to create a bid for it. And I said to it, and make sure you make a few blunders in the bid, because otherwise the review wouldn't have been that helpful. And it was actually, I don't know, it's just one word after the other. It was actually quite excited. It's like, I've done the bid and I've made some blunders. So what I did is I put those into ChatGPT, just the bid and the RFP, nothing else. There is no prompt. If you think you have to be good at prompt engineering, forget it. So it's going to think for a while, quite a while as it turns out, because it's like, what the... And then it's kind of working through things it doesn't like about my bid, or its own bid as it turns out. It's gone through anyway. So here it is. So it's coming up now with the gaps in my bid against the Pharmac RFP. Now you don't have to read all this because it's quite dull, but it is quite detailed. And remember what I said about ChatGPT being perfect at maths now? So it goes through, and I can't remember here, but I think it goes through and recalculates the costs and things like that. So I wouldn't get ChatGPT to produce your bids. Your stuff, it's not that great, but really good at review. So remember what I typed in? How much do you have to know about ChatGPT to do this? Nothing. Zero. Like, just attach the 2 files, press enter. Another thing about AI is that people often put one thing in and goes, oh, it's not very good. Key with AI, keep asking questions. Can you list questions? I remember I was trying to get into my head when I was trying to get that fake letter. It's really good at getting into anyone's head. And so in this case, I'm saying, hey, pretend to be Pharmac. And so we'll go away and look at Pharmac and what they do, and then it will be pretend to be Pharmac. So here we are. Here's the likely questions that Pharmac are going to ask. And then I've asked it to limit the answers to what I've put in the proposal. So there we go. So remember, individual plus AI, best thing you can do, team plus AI. I think that's it. Almost. And also a column with whether the problems that's found in my proposal is a showstopper. So again, review, it's not generating, it's reviewing. Really good at this stuff. Medium risk, showstopper, so I've got 3 showstoppers. Worst thing you can do is hand this to someone and say, there you go, can you update the bid? Best thing you can do, go through it, highlight the things that you agree with, and then hand it out to someone else who can update. Oops, this is my hand. So I've got my mitigations coming through. The odds that it's not quite right, 100%. But the odds that actually you've saved a whole lot of time, I mean, what is it? It's, this video is about 4 minutes. So if you arrive at work at 9 o'clock, by 9:04 you've got this kind of information to get the humans started. This one is the example I'm going to use around customer complaints. Really big. We use this a lot in engineering because engineering projects often go wrong because they're just so complex. There's so many things that can go wrong. This is the tool that I use. It's a Google tool. It's free. You just have to go to notebooklm.google.com and you can do exactly what I've done here. Just very briefly, the thing with knowledge management is you really don't, you want to tell it, we call it knowledge, funny enough, you want to tell it exactly what knowledge it's able to use. So if it can just search the web and find stuff on Reddit and all these random sites, not so good. But if you say actually only use these project files and nothing else, you get quite a powerful outcome. So Google will produce all these things for me, and I'll show you this as we go along. I made up a fake company, another fake company, and I said, make up a disastrous cool stall incident with a customer, and so it gave me a package of information. 15 files, so these are the 15 files that I put into Google. So this is live, not sped up. So imagine you get into work on Friday and someone says, countdown, they're just septic. We've lost $80,000 worth of stock because someone didn't follow up with an alarm, or actually they did follow up, but yeah. So how long have you got to get ready? You couldn't see that actually because I was just loading the files and the way the screen shared it didn't work. But so it's reading all of those documents. Give it another couple of seconds. So it's read all those and it's going to give me a nice little summary. Now everything's always quite complex, isn't it? So what Google does is it can give you a mind map of all those things. I could put up to 300 files in there. This is live, so it'll take a wee while. Oops, took that long to create a mind map. So these are all the things that it's kind of summarised into different areas. The customer compensation plan, that looks interesting. I want to see what we've offered there. So what you can see it's doing on the left-hand side is for each box I click, it's going through and writing me a summary of everything that's related to that particular box in the mind map. And what you'll see, and this is where things have moved a lot from a few months ago, is that everything it says, it has to prove where it got that from. See those little reference numbers? So hopefully we'll go over there in a minute and we'll test some of those out. You've also got the power of Google Gemini Pro, which is right up there, one of the world's most powerful models. I'm going to say, do we have a specific contract with the supermarket? The good news is it's not going to make it up. If it's not there, it's going to say it's not there. Now, funnily enough, it's not there. So what it does is it says, well, the customer, when they complained, said that we'd broken a contract. So there obviously is a contract. I just don't know what it is. I like this, a timeline of main events. So this is broken down. My lawyer friends love this because this takes them forever to work out, what happened when and who said what. So it's going through everything that happened by the minute, as it turns out. And then it has this lovely thing called a cast of characters, which is it finds everyone who's mentioned in the files I have and what their role was, what they did, and the organisations and the role and what they did. So what is it? 3 minutes past 9, 4 minutes past 9. Through using AI, I've got a pretty good idea of what's going on. This is a briefing document. So it's giving me a summary, but it's giving me a summary almost as an expert in whatever this was. Does anyone know how much it costs to do this, use this? Anyone know how secure it is? Absolutely secure and free. So Microsoft Copilot have just done a big update. Copilot can now do some similar things, but the search isn't as good. It can pretty much only deal with about 12 files at once, and then it kind of falls over. Next one. What we're going to do now is you can see I'm about to hit the interactive mode. And it's a bit of fun, really, but what it is it turns it from a screen that looks like something out of the 90s into a conversation.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We're diving deep into a pretty critical incident right here at Cool Store Ltd. I'm talking about the big temperature breach in Freezer A and, well, the fallout from that. For you, our listener, you're a Cool Store supervisor, so our mission today is really clear. We need to get you completely up to speed on exactly what went down, why it happened, and probably most importantly, the solid.
We'll just let this run for about a minute.
And looking ahead to make sure
it's a 6-minute one, but I want to interrupt.
Right, and what's really striking here is just how fast a technical glitch, something seemingly small, can blow up, how it can become a major operational headache and really strain customer relationships. We've pulled everything together, temp logs, the internal reports, those customer complaints, and the new action plans to give you the full picture, warts and all, and crucially, what needs to shift moving forward.
Exactly. Let's get straight into it then. What actually transpired? So August 13th, 2025, Freezer A, its compressor malfunctioned. Our logs clearly show it between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. The temperature shot up, went from the required negative 18 Celsius right up to negative 10.
Which is a huge deviation.
Huge. And it compromised a massive amount of product, 2,500 kilograms. Specifically, we're talking frozen chicken batch 45712 and frozen fish batch 45715, the immediate financial hit. A $68,000 loss just for one client, the generic supermarket group.
Okay, so that's the what, but for us as supervisors, the big question is always why. Our root cause analysis, it basically pinned it down to two main things. First, a technical fault. The compressor oil pressure sensor failed. And that was
I'm going to
worse
interrupt.
because some maintenance was
it's getting a bit
overdue.
dull for my liking.
Back
Just ask a question.
Right, the technical side.
But, and this is just as critical, maybe more so the human element, an alarm did go off. It was acknowledged by the supervisor on call. But here's the key. It wasn't escalated up to management for several hours. Mm-hmm. And that's not just about not following the SOP, the standard operating procedure. It kind of points to that risk, that normalization of deviances idea, where maybe minor alarm, whoa, could just break the fourth wall.
that's me. It's me, Matt. Look, do we need to change our standard operating procedure, or was it okay as it is? Just needs to be followed.
That is such a crucial question, and it's fantastic you're asking it head on.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to get to the bottom of.
So our analysis, the root cause analysis, actually found that the existing SOP for alarm escalation wasn't necessarily wrong in its design.
The steps were there, right?
Exactly. The core issue wasn't that the procedure itself was flawed. but that it wasn't strictly followed in this instance.
The supervisor acknowledged the alarm, but didn't push it up the chain.
Right, and that's why in the corrective action plan, one of the key steps is retraining all supervisors
interrupt
on the
again.
alarm escalation SOP.
To really
I'm gonna
hammer
get
home that it needs to
really
be
hard
followed
question.
every single time.
However, we're also adding a layer of protection, which sort of implies the original SOP might have had a gap in its resilience.
Ah, the automated SMS alerts.
Precisely. That's a new addition to the overall system. So even if there's a human lapse, there's a digital backup.
So it's a bit of, hey, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so is there any particular party that is entirely at fault here? Is there anyone that I really need to take to task?
That's a really good question because it's natural to want to find a single point of failure.
Yeah, it's point fingers, right. We all want that clear culprit.
What's fascinating here, if we connect this to the bigger picture, is that it's rarely one single thing or one single person.
Our root cause analysis actually highlights two main areas of fault, which we touched on.
First, the technical side.
Yeah, so we'll stop it there. So the skill you need to operate that, did you see anything particularly tricky in there? No. All I did was press generate audio overview, and then I interrupted and asked it questions. It can do it in 50 languages. It's really at the beginning of its cycle. It's going to get much better. Its development cycle, the software, it's only, it's going to get much, much better. But just an idea of, I mean, what's the time now? 9:10 in the morning. You've got on top of what's going on. You've got a good understanding, I guess, of what the next steps should be. Deep research. So this is now in Copilot if you're paying for it, but all the other agents of AI's had it for a while. People don't really know how to use deep research. What it is, it's AI trained to be able to research. Anyone know the answer to this? No, it's superhuman. No one could know. Yeah. I'll ask you about it later. Yeah, deep research, no problem. How much about AI do you need to know? Nothing. You just need to ask the question. I actually did this in the weekend to see what had happened in the last 2 weeks in AI and cool storage around the world. Last 2 weeks, not so much. So I asked it in the last month. So this is the only video I speed up because it takes about 7 minutes, I think, to write me a nice report on all the things that have happened around the world. And we only have 23 minutes, 35 seconds left. But yeah, what kind of instructions do I need to understand? No, I'm just going to write it in. I did have to click, if you just saw, I had to click deep research just to tell it that I wanted to do deep research. Sorry about my slow typing. It's going to ask me, it's trying to be a bit lazy here. It's trying to narrow down the scope, and I'm just going to say, nah, go ahead, just do it. Right, so if you bear with me for about 30 seconds, it will sit here and starting to think about how it's going to do this research. Where is it going to look in the world? Who's it going to ask? All those kind of things. Some of the AIs that are out there right now can ring up on the phone. They'll say, hi, do you know anything about? Yeah. Could be quite annoying if you get one of those calls. So down the right-hand side there, you can see all the things that it's doing. I often work with boards, and I say, before your next board meeting, just run this deep research. What's happened in my area of expertise, or the market that we're in the last month? Enter. In 12 minutes, you'll have a report that'll look much like what's about to appear on the screen. So all of the AIs can do this. Copilot is particularly good now. It's called Researcher. But you do have to pay the $55 a month to get there. It's funny when you work in AI, you become a coffee addict because everything sort of takes about 5 or 7 minutes. You're like, what shall I do? Get a cup of coffee. Oh, here we are. So you wanted to know the AI innovations transforming cool store operations in the past month. I don't know how good a job it's done because I'm light green on this. It might just be complete rubbish. Leave that to you. But what you can see is you can go through and everything that it's got, it didn't just make it up. Everything has got a website that you can go to and see where it got that information from. They're just a great way of getting up to date. Takes a bit longer than a Google search, but much more rigorous. And you can say, hey, do this in terms of a report I can send out to my staff, or do it in terms of something that make me look good. Just as we start to get towards the end, look at this guy.
Is the king in residence at the moment?
Yes, it looks like the king is in residence right now. The royal standard flag flag is flying above Buckingham Palace, which is the signal that the monarch is present.
Exactly what they're doing right now, please.
So he's just asked it, hey, can you tell me when the cab comes? It's like, here it is. So I don't know how much money was spent on technology for the blind and partially sighted over the years, probably billions of dollars. Now this is available to everyone for free. Has been since November last year. They do a pretty bad job at marketing. I find most people have no idea they can do this. Let me show you on my phone here. I can't remember which voice I've chosen. Hopefully it's someone interesting. Oh, g'day, are you there?
G'day. Yep, I'm here and ready to roll. And hey, I'll try to keep it as interesting as I can. Let me know what's on your mind.
Oh, look, I'm just going to turn the camera on, actually. Can you tell me what you can see?
Absolutely. Go right ahead and switch it on. Once it's on, I'll let you know what I'm saying, and we can go from there.
It's already on.
Oh, perfect. Yep, I can see now. Looks like you're in a room with quite a few people seated at round tables, like maybe a conference or workshop setting. Everyone seems pretty engaged. If there's anything specific you want me to focus on, just let me know.
What do you think they're thinking at the moment?
Well, they look pretty attentive and focused on whatever's going on up front. I'd say they seem interested and maybe a bit curious. Some of them are leading in or taking notes, but of course, I can only guess from what I see. If you've got any vibe you're picking up on, feel free to share.
No, thank you. I'm just going to demonstrate some health and safety stuff, so I'll get back to you.
You're welcome. And hey, if you need any more help or just want to...
Yeah. So available on your phone. I actually haven't tried to use it across the road yet. I'm not sure how good it is at that. But it's really good at health and safety and risk prediction. There's a whole lot of stuff we do in health and safety we would like to do. It's just superhuman. It's just ridiculous. You'd never do it. You'd never have someone just, well, maybe you would, but just sitting there watching what's going on a construction site all day, just in the hope that he or she will be able to note some things down. Of course, with AI, it's changed all that. This is Google Gemini. I found this is a YouTube video, and it's basically, obviously it's generated, but it's the world's worst building site. So have a look and see if you can pick the health and safety issues on this one. Looks fine to me. The lunch area just next to the compressor there, the generator. Yeah, he looks fine. I like this guy with the beam. Good on you. Anyway, I used this simply because I wanted AI to find some stuff, not just find one or two. So here's the thinking. Remember, it's reasoning. It doesn't just go, oh, I saw that. Those are the questions I asked. Give me a full risk matrix of what you see. And so you can see it's going through the video. I'm now fully immersed in the risk assessment phase, meticulously analysing each hazard. Google's a bit funny like that. It's kind of a bit precious. I've finalised, anyway, how long do you think this takes? Probably about a minute. My focus has now shifted to the final step, formatting the hazard data into a downloadable CSV report. I'm focused on ensuring accuracy in my assessment to be, it's like the world's perfect health and safety manager, isn't it? Now fully immersed, still immersed. Right, so it's done. So it's done the thinking, and now it's found all of the construction site hazards, and it's given me exactly on the video where that happened. So you could point this at a loading dock, and it will just watch the whole day and tell you when it sees something that is unsafe. Keep going. Multiple buckets are left clustered in a primary walkway. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not good at these risk matrices, so I'm light green on risk matrices, so it's actually produced a Excel file for me, which I'm not that interested in. How about a color-coded table with different colors for different risk scores? Design something that looks good for an infographic. So AI now is really good at doing infographics. Great way to get the message across. So there's my infographic, which is severity and likelihood. And I wasn't very happy actually because it didn't put the actual risks on. So I said overlay the 30 risks onto those so you can see each of the risks identified, it's put into the right category. And luckily, there are some, there are some stop work risks, which are those, my goodness, yeah, seven of them. I can go through this, but what I got it to do was to do a health and safety report and send it through to my manager in a format that he or she would love. but yeah, really good at health and safety type of stuff, and you can do it on your phone. To finish off, analytics. So this is where ChatGPT has changed. Remember, they've got 0, 5, 10% of maths until recently, and now it gets 100%. So I thought, wow, let's give it a go. So what I've done here is I've put together an Excel file, which is the alarm. It's basically a whole lot of stuff around a cool store. And I said, anyone know how much training you need to use ChatGPT? I just said, can you analyse this to find that? I haven't even told it what it is. It's going to work it out, that it's a cool store. It's going to work out what the alarms mean. All I've said is, can you analyse this to find the top 3 risks and provide a mitigation strategy I can share with staff? So just to give you an idea of the format that's in there. It's duration of the alarm, acknowledged by, severity, the zone, asset type, asset ID, alarm code. So that's it. It's gone through. And again, this is the world's worst call store operator. 213 repeat events over the month. Multiple zones. Yep, so let's go down. Communication faults. So I don't know how long it would take you this. I mean, we've already solved the countdown problem. We've reviewed our bid. So it's probably about 9:30 now. So we're about to understand what's going on with this particular cool store. So here we are. 70% of repeated alarms this week are power, comms, and refrigeration load. So it's saying, hey, do you want a one-page summary? I'm like, that's all right. This is the depth of my ChatGPT training. Yes, please. So it's written some code there, which we don't need to see, actually, so I'll close that down. So here we are. So here's my cool store risk bulletin. You can print this out. I actually want some charts, the graphs and things. It's a bit hard to deal with just the words. So what I do, just ask for what I want. Can you create some charts that will be useful? Maybe I didn't need that will be useful. Let's see what it does. So Microsoft Copilot can do this. It has access to all of your SharePoint information. So I've seen people do exactly the same and just say, hey, based on all the information you can find, oh yeah, it didn't show them to me. I'm like, show them to me. So here it is. Here are my alarms, frequency. Remember what I said about AI? Never take the first answer. Yeah. So what do? Try harder. I actually said something like, make these better. So I'm leading it up to the AI. Create better ones. Now it doesn't do a very good job, to be frank. What it does is make them, as it turns out, it doesn't even show me. I said, show me them. It makes them more colourful. But I couldn't, it was like, no, those are the best graphs I can do, Matt, but here you go. And quite well, we had a line graph. I don't know. I could say go back, if you like. Calculate the economic loss from not addressing these faults. I'm very light green on this, but hey, I think it's, oh no, I bumped my hand. Can you take that video back? I can't do anything with the clicker. Yeah, around, try there. Yeah, go back a bit. You're almost there. Thank you, and press play. Sorry about that. Where were we? Oh, here we are. Calculate the economic costs from not addressing these faults. Remember, at least it's sort of year 13 maths. So it's worked out the total cost, about $7,591. It's like, well, I had to assume some things. $5,000 an hour for the chiller down, the anti-room, $1,000 an hour, expected loss, yeah. So you might say, well, actually, that's no good. Here are my assumptions. If you're working in Microsoft Copilot, it will actually go through all of your information that you have to work out what those assumptions should be. Thanks. Stops the robots from getting us. Even when you say thanks, it comes up with some new ideas. Hey, what about this? Do you want me to package these risk charts and economic loss into one management-ready report? Yeah, sounds great. So that's kind of cool, except did you see I had to kind of work it out as I went along? Because I'm light green, I didn't really know what questions to ask. So this is the final thing I want to show you, which is called agents. You might have heard of agents. Agents basically let you put a whole lot of instructions together in one. It's kind of the future of automation when it comes to AI. You don't need to understand this because I'm going to show you literally. What's the time now? About 9. Well, literally it's 9:45 or something. But you've got to work. You've done the alarm thing. You've done the countdown thing. Now you're about to create an automation so that you'll be able to review all of the alarms that go off in all of your cool stores anywhere in the world. And get a report. Here we go. The thing with agents is you obviously need decent AI. You need to tell it what knowledge it can use. So in my case, it was just, here's the Excel file. But you might say, here's all the previous reports we've done on our systems, or here's all the costs that we have each month. And then you have instructions. So simple as that. Knowledge, instructions. You put your stuff in, and the agent will work through those instructions and produce the output. So you have no input apart from giving it your specific request. So how does that work? Well, sometimes it doesn't work that well, and so you get an output you're like, that's not very good. So you just go back and change the instructions. So agents are never quite finished, but they get better all the time. So you might say, never do that again. That was terrible. Right, so this is Microsoft Copilot. Do you know how much this costs? $55 a month, including GST. So I just pressed, see I'm pressing work, so now it's using all of the information in my organisation, which is not that great, to be fair, for cool stores, but in your implementation, it'll be much, much better. Right, so here is the screen. This is all live. What is it, 9:43? Oh, I forgot to say, you actually need to give it a title. I won't let you do it without a title, so this is going to be my alarm analysis. It also makes you put in a description, just so that, because you're going to have all these agents, you need to know exactly what it's doing. Right, I'm just going to paste in the instructions, and I'll take you down. So all you say is, hey, you're a professional analyst specialising in cool stores. Your job is to analyse alarm data sets. You're going to get a CSV. It's probably going to have these things. I want you to summarise the alarm trends, identify 3 operational risks, economic loss, generate some cool charts, and produce a performance report. Now, I actually cheated. I just said to ChatGPT, hey, can you create me some instructions for an agent to do what I just did? This is what it came up with. I actually added something at the end here just to make sure it would work for this demo. Show everything on screen. So it's not hard. Right, anyone know how long it takes for it to create this agent? I'm just going to turn on turn on mathematics and images, and that's it. So 9:43, I now have an automated agent that will analyse all of my alarm data, write me a nice little report. This actually takes the longest. Obviously, we're heating the world slightly somewhere. So let's give it a go. So I'm now on the agent. This is Microsoft Copilot, $55 a month. I'm just going to say I've just loaded up this alarm data, do the analysis. So this is really good, not perhaps for you, but you'll be able to give this to more light green people, and they'll have the advantage of you understanding how to do this analysis that you have coded into the instructions. Tell a lie? No, tell the truth. I did shorten that a bit. It took about a minute to work through. I just thought we'd be shorter time. So there we are. There's my top 3 operational risks. So if you've got 100 things with alarms and you want to know the economic cost of not fixing things, it's going to take you about 100 minutes, I suppose, to load them all up. Again, I'm light green. This could be complete rubbish. I don't know. So dark green people are not going out of business, and I can download the full report. So those are agents. Agents are kind of where it's at right now. Here's a nice little drawing I did myself. So I've just shown you a personal agent, so that's one I can use. Yeah, kind of cool, but actually the benefit you get is when the organisation has agents that other people can use. The reason I've coloured them blue is that your personal ones, do what you like, but actually what you should do is have approved agents that are correct, that do the right things, and have someone who's responsible in the organisation, if this is the alarm analysis agent, have someone who knows what they're doing, who's in control of the instructions for that agent. Agents in an organisation can all talk to each other. So if this is the health and safety reporting agent, this agent might say, actually, I think I've got a health and safety issue. Can you look at that? This is all automatic. Blows my mind. $55 a month per person. And then you have organisational ones. So these link to your finance system or your CRM system. So you probably want your CFO on top of those. But how long is it going to take him or her to do the agent? 10 minutes. And then you have an agent that you talk to that then goes away and talks to these other agents. So kind of hard to explain that, but that's where we're at. People say, oh man, we need to catch up. I'm like, well, the people who are the most ahead on this are about 4 weeks ahead of you, because the technology did not work well in June. I was thinking, if I had a whole day, we could probably create agents for these things. I don't know if these are relevant. These are the kind of things that you can automate in a few minutes in your organisation. Just to finish on robots. So everything I've shown you right now is kind of, the most expensive piece of kit I showed you was, what was it? It's probably ChatGPT, which is the $35, $37 a month. Copilot. It's $55 a month, Microsoft Copilot. But it's all available to you right now. Morning tea time, go away by end of morning tea. You might have achieved some amazing things. Robots, we're not quite there. Difference between robots, so it's great that Crown are here. So Crown typically use, I imagine, the black AI, right? So you want your lift to be the same every time. You don't want to go, maybe I'll do it this way this time. So not a great idea to put generative AI into your forklifts? Absolutely not. But what you can do is you can say to robotics that are run by generative AI, you can say, can you go and, can you find, I've left my phone somewhere in the factory, can you go and find it? They're like, no problem. Off it will go. So very flexible in terms of what you can ask it to do. The other thing with humanoid robots is that you don't have to change anything. I bought one of those silly cars that Elon Musk said was going to drive itself. Yeah, it still doesn't drive itself. And I was presenting to the Vintage Car Club. And I said, you're going to have full self-drive before I am. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, because all you need, you've only got a steering wheel, 3 pedals and a gear stick, maybe indicators if you're that way inclined. Just tell the robot to get in your car and go drive it away. I'm like, yeah. So the benefit is you don't have to modify anything. Hallucinating robots, not so great. Best that you kind of make sure they're doing things that aren't high risk. I'm going to show you this final video, which is figure 2 robots. And the guy, there's a bit of a voiceover here, so I probably don't have to talk that much. But I just want to finish on what this last point means.
This is Figure AI's robots in action, sorting packages in a logistics hub. They're powered by Helix, a VLA, Vision Language Action model, that combines sight, language, and precise control. Helix lets them handle any small object, like flipping packages to scan labels, using one neural network. The company founder, Brett Apcott, says they're preparing the Figure robots for launch.
That was March. Never trust anyone in AI about when they're going to ship. He is shipping, but they're making 300 a month or something of these things. The cool thing about that, one is they'll probably hallucinate, so it'll be quite funny. So sooner or later, one's going to turn around and punch the other one because it was the most logical next word. But the other one is they all run on the same AI, which if you're a Star Trek fan, it's like, oh, it's not so good. But what it means is that they can collaborate, they can cooperate. So if this robot goes, I need to give it to this robot, this robot immediately knows because they're all using the same AI. But it also means if this robot works out not to squeeze the jelly parcel so hard because it will explode, instantly all the other robots doing the task know that thing as well. So yeah, you wouldn't want to do it for important things, but sorting mail sounds all right. People say, wow, Matt, that's great. What do I do now? Well, up to you, really. But this is a 5-step approach I suggest. So the first one is you actually have to get, you people, I'm sure when you go back to your organisations, you'll go, hey, did you know AI can do this? They're like, no. You need to kind of bring everyone up to the same level of understanding. Otherwise, you'll say, hey, why don't we use it for this? And they'll go, oh, no, It's not private and it makes stuff up. Piloting, never roll out AI to your whole organisation. Work out a few cool people in your organisation. Pilot with them. Work out what works. And these pilots can last 3 days, 3 weeks. They're not like 18 months because it'll take you 30 seconds to set them up and then upskill your staff. It's actually, people, I think it's 55% of New Zealanders, when you mention you're introducing AI into the workplace, their first thought is, there goes my job. 55%. The majority of New Zealanders think that. So make sure that you don't just roll out the AI, but you take care of your staff and tell them how to use it. So they're not like, oh no, it's going to take my job. And then this is the hardest thing. It's a bit like, someone said, it's a bit like learning how to use the internet. You know, you can't go to a training course and then that's it. You kind of have to keep talking about what you're discovering, what you're doing. So the more you can share in your organisation about how you're using this stuff, the faster you'll learn it. These are the tools. Most organisations are now, since July, taking on that. Just something. The free Copilot chat that you get for free doesn't have access to your work information. And you can't create decent agents with it. But you can use agents that other people have created. So that's me. We don't have time for questions today, but very welcome. I'm around till after lunch. So ask any questions that you might have, or just drop me an email. So thanks for the opportunity to talk. It's been a roller coaster, really. But I hope what you've seen is that, getting practical with AI, all you've got to do is kind of open it and start typing what you want to type, but never ever trust that it will always give you the right answer. So thank you, and I'll hand back.
Thank you for your insights into AI, Matt.
Pleasure.
Well, I think we all agree that AI is a very powerful tool. And if you have any questions, as Matt said, ask him to get a little bit of a better understanding of AI. And thank you, Matt, for your presentation. And I did note that there's about 8% of AI gods out there, so if Matt can't answer your questions, go find one of them. The conference is being filmed, and it will be distributed to our members over the next month or so. We're now going to break for morning tea, so everybody back here at 10:45, please. Thank you.